Let's bring in Gareth Vaughan now, financial commentator, particularly on banking issues. You've been listening to all this. Do you believe this is about a crusade to help all consumers who are being ripped off by banks, or is there a wee bit of, somebody sensing hundreds of millions potentially in benefits for themselves?
Well, look, I mean, this is a really new type of litigation for New Zealand. This is very much Australian-style litigation. Obviously, Andrew's partners, Slater and Gordon, which is big name in Australia, legal firm. Julia Gillard used to work for them. I mean, basically, yeah, as Andrew said, you know, they put up $3–4 million, however much it is. But if they win, then they get 25% of the money that they win for the bank customers.
Maths being about 250 mil, possibly.
Well, potentially at the upper limit of their own estimate.
Do you think banks can't get away here just saying that our fees are a deterrent to stop you going overdrawn?
Yeah, I don't think that's good enough, and I think the Commerce Commission said that in 2010 when they did take a look at some of these areas, and they did say, for example, that over limit and late payment credit card fees, they said that a fee of up to $15 was acceptable, any more was not, and that was a real line in the sand for them. So as to where this fits in with what Andrew's group is doing will be interesting to see, and the Commerce Commission did say to me yesterday that they weren't clear under which law this action would be taken. So it's going to be really interesting to watch.
Andrew made the point that the Commerce Commission has managed to bring that ceiling down, as you just said, to $15, but that's still way too much. I mean, what does it cost a bank every time I go $80 overdrawn?
Not a lot. You know, in all reality, it doesn't cost them much money. But I guess, you know, they might argue, well, you know, you're borrowing the money from us. As long as we're open about these fees, then we have a right to charge them.
We, the consumer, you know, we have nothing to lose here, do we? Or do we, if we sign up to this?
I don't think so, no. I think if you don't pay anything up front, and you obviously have a chance of potentially getting some money back. So, no, there's nothing to lose for the consumer, but I suppose it would probably pay not to get your hopes too high, because you know, the billion-dollar figure that they're using is based on overseas estimates. It might be conservative, it might be optimistic, and that's their best-case scenario. And in all reality here, I very much doubt they're going to get that much money.
Would we be better off at this stage going through our own records and ringing the bank and saying, right, this lawsuit's being you know, put in the public profile, but if we just sort out the $120 you've charged me over the last 6 months, then I won't be signing up?
I don't know how many people would be prepared to do that for what is going to be, for most people, a relatively small sum of money. So probably not.
What do you reckon it costs overall a person, I don't know, an average consumer a year in these overdraft fees? Do you have any idea what we're spending on these?
It's really hard to estimate because they're not collated by anyone in New Zealand, which is different to Australia where they are. I mean, it depends from person to person. I mean, personally, I was thinking about this for myself yesterday, and I'm probably not eligible for this case because I don't think I've incurred any of these fees in the last few years. Some people may, you know, out of necessity or out of not being well organised, may incur them regularly. So for some people, you know, there could be several $100s in it, maybe more, you know, if the case is one.
Well, Nadine earlier today was telling us that the last month was a $5.4 billion spent on plastic. I imagine that some people are incurring major fees. Yep. Gareth, thanks very much for your time this morning. It is going to be fascinating to see where this leads. Thank you, Gareth and Andrew, this morning.